we're going to use our food processor. And we're going to, our spinach is already washed and ready to go.
Can you use something else instead of spinach if you don't need spinach?
Yes, you could probably use some basil. I'd use some basil mixed with maybe some lettuce and some parsley to do it. Because you want it kind of bland, because I don't know, it's got such a unique taste of its own that I love it. Okay, I'm using soy yogurt. Our yogurt, our cashews, our water, our nutmeg, and our cayenne. So the first thing we need is
Garlic is 1/2 tablespoon minced garlic and 1 tablespoon of olive oil.
Okay, I'm going to put a 1/2 cup of soy yogurt in here. And this is plain. Looks like vanilla, but it's not. It's plain.
I thought soy wasn't that good for you.
I don't care for it that much, but I didn't get to make my own, so.
Oh, I mean, it's just a question. I mean, that's what I heard.
Yes, I don't particularly care for soy yogurt, but it's better than milk yogurt.
They have rice yogurt now. Did you know that?
Oh, no, I didn't know that. How cool.
That's
Rice
They also have coconut yogurt in the
Lousy,
store,
but we
too.
let my granddaughter eat some of it.
Brown rice or white rice?
I think it's brown rice, but I'm not sure.
So somebody
But I
want
know
to
you
check
can
45 minutes for that?
45 minutes.
Yeah, 5 o'clock.
45 minutes, that'll be done. And we're going to put 2 dashes of nutmeg in here. And a dash of cayenne.
And it's pepper.
This has got really small holes, so it didn't do much. For those of you who are worried about that.
Yeah.
And my raw cashews I have soaked for about 2 or 3 hours. So they're going to be kind of like crumbled tofu. With them being soaked like this, they're kind of like crumbled tofu.
Oh, okay.
And since I don't want to use tofu, we're going to use this.
So 2 to 3 hours?
Yes.
When you buy the raw cashews, say in Whole Foods, is it true that by law they have to steam them?
Yes, it is.
So
There's
they're
no-
not really raw,
Not completely.
so those are not the ones you're using then?
I'm not using the one from there, no. But I don't know many places where you can get completely raw anything, except almonds. I know you can get them from Spain. I do know you can get them from Spain.
So-
Cashews you
But
can
they
get
have-
raw, but you have to get them right from the growers,
Farmer.
and they won't come through the ports. You gotta get them around about. So some of the things you have, if you wanna go to extremes, we're not gonna be real extreme here, such as like with the soy and things like that. We're trying to give you as much as we can in the raw as we're possible to do. Some things you're just not gonna find them. It's gonna be impossible. So
They have developed a new technique for getting rid of bacteria on the nuts, and what it is they put them through a what do you call it, a heater, so to speak, and it heats them really fast and then cools them off really fast. And so it just heats the outside and it doesn't actually heat all the way
core's not
through.
getting, it's not
Which is
getting above
nice.
115 in the core.
Yeah. So that's kind of nice, and so that's what we try to buy when we buy is, as far as the almonds go and when we sell them to you guys, that's the kind that we buy for you.
What do you call that method?
I don't know what
I
it's
don't
called.
remember, it does have a name, but I can't remember. It's a pasteurization method, but it's got a special name
And
to it.
where do you get those nuts that are done like that?
I get them on the internet at,
No, wilderness.
No, it's R&S, Almond Farms, I think.
So
something
when
like
I buy the raw almond at Costco, I'm fooling myself, right?
Correct.
Correct. They're still allowed to call them raw though, because that's what they let them do.
This big bag, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raw almond.
No, they're never raw, completely.
Unless you know your source, exactly where it's coming from, and they're telling you what process you're going through. Excuse me?
So you do the vegetarian.
Well, yeah, it takes us a lot of research to get that material, so.
Watch her. She has
Wait, don't open that can.
Start out with half.
Yeah.
Half
half a
teaspoon.
teaspoon.
Empty level.
Quarter.
What is it?
Salt. We have this thing with salt with me.
Family joke.
It's a family joke.
What if you're in a no salt diet?
Pardon?
What if you're in a no salt diet?
Don't put it in?
Yeah, don't put it
You
in.
can probably put liquid amino acids instead. That would work.
And I think that the sea salt is pretty good.
Yeah, and that's what I've got in here, is sea salt. Okay, we're going to blend this up right
You
now.
need water? You need to put the water? You need to put the half cup of water.
And now it's called brasa, then we call it brasa. Yeah, that's how my daughter pronounces it. So we call it
Okay, we're gonna start putting the spinach in here. If you can get 2 pounds in here, this is 2 pounds right here. Wow. This takes a lot of spinach. Last time I did it, I put a little.
So pretty.
There's a lot of different kinds of spinach. I had a friend give me a spinach that comes on a long vine. There's wrinkly spinach and there's flat spinach. No, you can use whatever. I don't know. I think it just depends on if they're buying that kind and get it in the store, and if not, no. But I know you can grow it yourself. This is almost like making a pesto, but not quite.
You know what my husband does for Attila? Yeah, so we can grow some.
Wonderful.
There you go.
I don't even know what that is. It's like what a plow.
You know what's in it now?
I'm moving in with you.
Say what?
All the spinach?
No. It's pretty green already.
That
needs to be a little bit more liquid.
is so hard.
Just keep this going until it gets smooth. So we're going to leave it going. One of the things that spinach has is it has flavonoids in it, which are act as an antioxidant for your body, protecting your body from free radicals.
That's spinach.
The spinach sugar.
You know, my green smoothie every morning, spinach, everything. Just like you guys do.
It's got lots of iron.
So I stopped off my iron pills. I don't take iron pills anymore.
Excellent.
Don't take a whole bunch of vitamins.
I have another pill.
When you start on a raw diet like this, you don't need to take vitamins, otherwise you'll
No
overcome
vitamins.
Just ask Phyllis.
Since my cleanse, no vitamins, no iron pills, nothing.
She was getting too much calcium,
Calcium,
on having raw food and
Right.
taking calcium tablets.
Right.
So when you're on a raw food diet, you do not need the
You putting anything else in this or that's
Actually, you can get sick
No, I have
There's 13 different flavonoids in spinach, which cause it to act as an anti-cancer substance. So it's very good for you. Nutmeg is amazing. I didn't get to tell you about that one. It cures stomach aches, diarrhea. It helps to detoxify the body. It reduces blood pressure and increases blood circulation. It's good for your digestion, reducing acidity, relieving vomiting, flatulence, and it's good for respiratory problems.
And the Jamaicans know all about that. The Jamaicans and the Caribbean.
We all know. We all eat the same thing. Americans don't know. No, they want to be all of the Caribbean by themselves.
The Jamaicans are
I'm glad you
well
guys love each other. If they know, right now, more Jamaicans than Nancy, you know, what's in Jamaica.
Food fight!
Now we use raw cashews in here, so I'm going to tell you what raw cashews are good for. They are heart protective. They have a lot of copper in them for antioxidant defenses. I don't know if you knew this, but it used to be in the old times we would have copper doorknobs. You know why? Because as soon as any germs hit copper, it kills it.
Wow.
Can't live on it.
It can't
Can't
live on
live on the
copper.
surface of copper.
So all the
You think they
doorknobs.
suspense with that so people get sick and be doctors?
Yeah, of course.
You know, we used to have that in all
It tarnished, it didn't look good. And then they tell you have to put chlorine in the water.
So people will get even more sick.
Exactly.
People will get so sick because then the doctor can send his son to Harvard. And he will drive Mercedes.
That's enough salt, more salt. No, you have to
Salt and call it easy.
You feed
It
up.
needs more garlic, but the salt's perfect.
Thank you.
Debbie can salt to taste.
So you gotta do like that.
You know how I am, so you know. I'll be salted now. And anybody else who likes salt?
Debbie salts her water. No, I'm only joking.
I salt my toast.
You know what the
So
worst
is this
part of
gonna
the
make us
lemonade
look
cleanse for me was? Drinking this, the salt water, the
Oh,
salt
the
water.
master cleanse?
Oh my gosh, I hate salt.
Oh, yeah? That made it even worse, huh?
That's like taking a big swallow of the ocean, isn't it?
Oh, by the way, did you know that you can drink ocean water? If you were stranded out in the ocean, you can drink ocean water and it won't kill you. But you have to take just a few tablespoons at a time. With some time between those couple of tablespoons.
Very high minerals.
Very high minerals. It will give you the water that you need by taking that, but you just can't drink a whole lot of it. It just has to be a couple tablespoons at a time. So that's something good when you live near the ocean.
Yeah, those of us that are on the salt-restricted diets, we need to be aware of how much salt and what types of salt are good for you and bad for you. If you get into the mineral salts, you don't have half the effects that you would if you were using the table salt.
Right.
The table salt that you'll find that's refined salts on most tables is very detrimental because it has absolutely no mineral value in it at all. It's been
It's actually
fired.
the remains of
Yeah,
the salt.
it's been heated up, it's been fired, it's stripped of all minerals, and really does have bad side effects. Then they put in caking agents in, so it doesn't get stuck together. And then they also put the iodine in, which is the wrong thing to do because you don't really need to have the iodine if you're eating it in the proper dietary amount that you're getting it. Or you can get iodine yourself that would be ionic iodine and take that as a supplement if you really need iodine.
Or just eat the seaweeds.
Yeah, seaweed gives you plenty.
Dulse is really, really good. I love dulse.
Any one of the sea vegetables are going to be high in iodine.
Yes.
Or at least I should say enough iodine for the body to take in. You don't need excess. So now what we have is we have a spaghetti, which is actually a spaghetti squash. And so that's vegetable. And we have our spinach sauce to go over it. And then we're also going to add some what's called a Veggie Parmesan that Debbie makes. It's not cheese-based at all. So it is a vegetarian vegan, actually. This is a cooked product, so we don't have all raw. There are some cooking that is done. We try to minimize the amount of cooking done in our foods. But if you've ever tried to scrape out a spaghetti squash that is not cooked, you got to have a lot of stamina, because it's going to
He
fight you
dreaded
back.
it. He said, "Can we cook it?"
I did it the first time. It's delicious that way, but it
Yes.
took me almost an hour to do one spaghetti squash, trying to scrape it out by hand with just the means of using a nice fork, heavy duty, the big serving forks, and scraping it out of the squash was very, very difficult, extreme.
How
So
do you do that?
this has been cooked
Because it's in strings
30 minutes.
Oh, I see,
And
you take the
It
fork
strings,
and
it
pull
self-strings,
out.
it's called spaghetti squash for that purpose. It's
Yeah,
stringy.
I remember now.
So we're going to serve this
So you
up for you.
cook that for how long? Boil it?
half an hour.
Half hour.
And you could also do like we did last time with our spaghetti marinara.
Yeah.
You can julienne zucchini too, and that'll be perfect spaghetti for
That
it.
was
That's what I
delicious.
actually prefer.
Debbie,
So we had this, so we
And
thought
that's
we'd
raw.
use it.
Can you bake the spaghetti squash?
Sure. We boiled ours just because it's faster, it uses less energy. We're real energy conscious, so. Yeah.
I've never tasted a spaghetti.
If you do it, you don't even have to cut it. You just take the whole thing and stick it in the oven.
Oh, is it
Or you pot,
yellow?
or you just cut it into the
You can cut it.
Whatever.
Well,
fit
we
your
cut it, let's see how, we had little small ones, so I think you just cut them in half and stuck them in.
And then you have to peel it out of it.
It'll,
Scoop it out.
you just scoop it out.
I usually bake those things with sprinkle some cinnamon powder and stuff like that on it and bake it.
You can do that too. If you want the Italian taste to it, you can put Italian seasonings on it. I mean, there's lots of things you can do.
And if you want to have fun with it, I cut it lengthwise. And then you have those.
Oh.
Yes. We tried to make ours as long as possible, but these were little short spaghetti squashes, so they're little short spaghetti.
Debbie, the amino acids will do what for you?
The amino acids will take the place of salt, but they also add all kinds of amino acids, which is what this is for. It adds alanine, glycine, leucine, styrene, arginine, histidine, methionine, and then there's like 24 different aminos that are
And
added.
it's important to have,
Yes.
what foods?
Instead of using
Almost
soy
all your foods
sauce.
have it in it. Have something of those in it.
So you can't just tell us what it's
The same amount
Yeah,
every
you
time,
salt.
but use
Instead of
that.
using salt, use that.
Oh, it's like a
Soy sauce.
Yes, and it's like soy sauce when you taste it.
Right, Debbie?
What?
Instead of soy sauce.
Yes, use this instead of soy sauce.
Yeah, it's so beautiful when, and I make my own dressings for salads. When you add this, it makes like your brain going into the heaven.
I need to pick that up
I
tonight.
Where do we get this?
Yeah, and
brain is
Whole Foods, you
good.
can get this at Whole Foods. Yeah, and it's not that much either, so.
No, it was very inexpensive.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that, does that work the same as like Worcestershire sauce too, or
No,
that's different?
that's totally different. Yeah, this was made by the Bragg family, and they're very, very big into natural and healthy
They make
things.
the
That's the
apple
kind
cider
of
vinegar.
apple cider vinegar, yes.
Yes.
You said you couldn't find
The soft wheat berries. Oh, do they?
That's the one by you.
The one on University?
Peters Road.
Okay.
They're building a public school.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
They're putting a,
Does anybody know how long our,
we have.
Yes, you still have 15 minutes. About.
15 more minutes? Okay, cool. Okay, while he's getting that ready for your taste buds, we will go to making some better butter. Now y'all wanted something that you could make butter with, and so how many of you want to use the regular butter?
I don't eat butter.
Only the organic stuff.
The organic butter.
I thought I found the answer when I found the earth balance.
That's right, I did
I
too.
was like, yeah, so.
I did too.
That's
I
not
knew
good?
it was done.
No, it's not, apparently.
I just started cooking.
Making your own is always the best, because then
Oh,
you
no,
have all
Debbie
the
says,
ingredients.
don't fry. Torch it.
Getting to the
Stop
basics
frying,
is the
I'm
best
torching
thing you
now.
can do. So I'm going to make one today with real butter in it, but I have also made one that doesn't have butter in it. And it's only got the olive oil, the coconut oil, the hemp oil, raw agave, lecithin, and real salt. And yeah. That's not on your thing. Because I knew that there would be some people here who would not want to have animal products, and so I made that for those of you who do not want to have animal products, so you can taste it.
And it has more
What, this
ingredients,
one?
olive oil.
Olive oil, it has 1 cup of olive oil,
Oh, organic.
half a cup of coconut oil, 1/4 cup of hemp oil, 1½ teaspoons of raw agave. Yes, organic.
So it's hemp instead of butter.
Instead of the red palm oil, it's going to be hemp oil.
And instead of the butter, the
Instead
organic
of the butter, it's going to be ½ cup of coconut oil. It'll have 1/2 teaspoon of lecithin in it, and 1 teaspoon of real salt, and 2 tablespoons of ground up flaxseed. Okay, that's what this other one has in it. So that's for those of you who do not want to use animal products.
What do you use instead?
I use coconut oil
No.
instead of butter. Instead of butter, everything else is pretty much the same, except that I replaced the red palm oil with hemp oil.
Yeah, because palm oil has a lot of cholesterol.
And it's hard to find too. And I didn't have a chance to find it anywhere, so. Hemp oil, you can find at Whole Foods. It's in the oil section. What? You get high? It doesn't make you high. So we're going to make the butter. Okay, we're using 1/2 cup of butter.
Feed me.
That's good.
1 cup of olive oil. If you get really good olive oil, it should be green.
Like the olive oil we have.
This coconut oil that I'm
And I wanted to
using
ask them.
is neutral. It does not have the coconut taste to it.
Wow.
Now you can add coconut taste and get the one with coconut taste if you want. Yes.
I'd like to ask you a question.
What did they do?
If, like, when you buy your vegetables, like the Whole Foods and stuff, and most of your vegetables, of course, are grown in the ground, what's the difference, and are they no good if they're grown hydroponically?
The difference in hydroponic is that they add the, what do you call it?
Nutrients.
Nutrients via the water. They have to pour nutrients in there, so it's
It's
not,
liquid.
it's not as natural.
Yeah, the hydroponics grow in liquid, and they constantly feed it a liquid through means of whatever distribution. And in that, they're going to have whatever nutrients, minerals, and whatever compounds are needed in it. Now, some of them will grow them organic, and some won't. So there's that feature out there with the hydroponics. You see a lot of hydroponics around here where they're growing strawberries are big for that. You see a lot of strawberry farms done with that because they can grow vertically. In 5 acres, they're actually going to get about 25 acres in a 5-acre plot. It's quite expensive.
This is delicious.
Like
Oh
it?
my gosh, this is so good.
Good.
Mordecai and
You like it?
This
Oh,
is
good.
so
Good,
good.
I'm
Oh my God.
I know when I ate it the first time, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is heaven. But I didn't want to get your hopes up too
And the
high.
cheese, it's not cheese, it's absolutely great. Oh
Good.
my God.
Yeah, your veg.
I have to make
my
some of that and put in
goodness.
my-
I was like, what? I forgot what I was eating for a second. I said that can't be the veggie parmesan.
It is.
Did you have a recipe for that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've sent it out and then we've shown you how to make it.
And you can buy her book for $19.95 today.
You go on
They
our
hired a cook
website.
for us too?
Nah, that comes extra. He charges $1,000 a day to come to your house and make 3 meals.
Oh my goodness.
That's so you won't hire me.
My kids will
Or
never
else he
know.
wants to retire.
We're just encouraging you to good works on your own.
Yeah, do
I make
your
it
own.
tomorrow.
Yeah, solid.
You know?
It's all
Hemp oil.
Oh, it's green too.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? I didn't know it was green.
Yes.
She made that. Remember she did it in the
Lecithin, we're going to put a half a teaspoon of lecithin in here.
And that you buy at Whole Foods also?
Yep.
Now, what's the difference between
The liquid, is it better the liquid than the other granules?
Well, when you're doing stuff like this, yes. This recipe has a half a teaspoon of real salt, but that's only if you use a salted butter. We don't buy salted butter because we don't know what kind of salt they use. You know, they probably use the kind that's got the
Table salt.
anti-caking stuff, and so we don't trust them. So we get the unsalted and
And
we
you think
salt it
even in the
ourselves.
organic that might be so?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, even in the organic.
yeah. So
That's good to know.
we're putting a whole spoon.
I think she slid that one by me. She slid that right by me.
On the one with the butter in it, it says half a teaspoon of salt, and on the vegan one, it says 1 teaspoon.
Right. 1 teaspoon for both. The half a teaspoon, like I said, is if you get salted butter. If you don't get salted butter, then use a whole teaspoon. No, this is the real butter. Y'all see? I love this thing.
But I'm gonna cook for her, so you can show.
This, it's a brawn,
B-R-A-U-N?
B-R-A-U-N.
Can you pass me your stingamajig, what him call it?
Now, like I said, you can do this in the blender and it'll do this as well. That's what I used to do until I found this thing.
Isn't she?
I almost threw this out.
What, you both want it?
This brawn thing, I almost threw it away.
Oh, no, you did throw it out. I went dumpster diving.
What else did you come up with?
I did throw it out.
And mine, it came with a chopper. I think yours did too.
Oh yeah, mine came with a chopper and with a
Whisk.
whisk.
A whisk, yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.